Hey, this is Braiden with Fulcrum Home Loans. This is your weekly update. It is Thursday, September 29th, 2022. First point, interest rates. Let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat. Interest rates, it's on everybody's mind right now. The fact of the matter is interest rates are about as high as they have been in the last 15 plus years. Freddie Mac just came out with their report. They reported 6.7% is the average interest rate, and that is with points as well. They are usually about 2 weeks or so behind current live interest rates.
Yep.
Unfortunately, rates have risen quite a bit in the last 2 weeks. So we're probably, according to their report, around 7% right now for the average 30-year interest rate with points. As a broker, we're a little bit lower than that right now. But the fact of the matter is it's high. And that's concerning for us as a mortgage company, but also for real estate agents and the general public as well. That being said, we see some light at the end of the tunnel and we see some hope moving forward. And we'll talk about that in our third point.
Everyone always lives in the now. You make decisions based on the now. If I would have told you the purchase price of a home 6 months ago that you could get today, you would have jumped on that home so fast. But now you're being influenced by interest rates. There is always going to be a factor that you can use as an excuse to not purchase a home. Now, if you're not comfortable with the payment, don't make the payment. I'm not telling you to go purchase a home. It may not be the right time. But you see this over and over. You know, people I've heard that, oh, if I had money in 2008 and would have bought homes, like they could have had that money. They just didn't because they were scared the world was falling and they were too scared. I think the same thing's going down. There is amazing deals on homes right now. Sellers are giving huge concessions. Prices are down about 10 to 15% here in the Treasure Valley. I bought a CBH home for $520,000 a year ago, almost to the date. I just finished a transaction for the exact same floor plan in the same neighborhood for one of my clients, and she bought it for $470,000. So I am down $50,000 in that home. She picked a home $50,000 better off than I did. And so make sure you're comfortable with the payment. Don't get in over your heads, but you can always change the interest rate through a refinance. You can never change the purchase price again. So if you find a good deal and you're comfortable with the payment, we think you can refinance in the next 12 months. So swallow the payment for 12 months if you can afford it, and then refinance back in, and then you'll have a great rate and a great purchase price. And in 2-3 years, you'll be the one laughing at everyone else that didn't make it actually happen. So there's always an excuse. You just got to decide, can I do it? Should I do it? And then pull the trigger and stop looking for excuses. Point number 2, predicting the bottom. Everyone is saying, how long will this go? What's it looking like? Where are we going from here? So just straight statistics. The average recession is about 281 days is what I saw the other day. And the average amount the stock market goes down is 29% during those recessions. Now let's look at what we're currently doing. We are currently at about 260 days into this recession, and the market, the S&P 500, year to date is down 24%. So we are honestly really close to the averages. Now those are averages. It could be shorter, it could be longer than that, but from everything we're seeing, it is all pointing to the next couple months. We'll see if that's actually true, but inflation should be peaking here in the next month or two. End of Q4, beginning of Q1 is what we've heard. Interest rates should start coming down, inflation should start coming down. The spring market in real estate specifically tends to add a little boost as well. So I am predicting that we have another 3 or 4 months of pain. Unemployment rate will start to go up a little bit more, maybe a little bit more down in stock markets. Interest rates will stay where they're at. There's a lot of social media people, clickbaiters, whatever you want to call them, that are saying there's going to be runs on banks. This is the worst depression since the 30s and causing all that mayhem. Don't listen to the noise. Look at the stats. Look at the markets. Make decisions for yourself. That's all for clicks, for watches, for views, and you need to be educated in what you're looking at.
Honestly, in my opinion, it's going to be a trusted real estate professional, whether that's a mortgage person that you've worked with in the past, a real estate agent that you've worked with in the past, somebody who's been in the market through a few of these cycles and can suss out what to be really concerned about and what not to be concerned about. I would not get my information from social media though. They're paid based on their clicks, and they have to do things and say things that are generally a little bit more sensational to get eyeballs, on their material.
When getting any information, I don't feel like this is just economic news. I firmly believe in seeing both sides, getting both sides, and then using your own brain to think. You can find the people that are saying the sky is falling, and you can find the people saying that it's going to flip in 30 days. You should put all your money into some random asset that you've never heard of, that penny stock. You know what I mean? Like, you can find both sides right now. And I know you want to go find the 60-second video that explains it all perfectly, and that's just not out there. You have to learn to think for yourself. I could get on my soapbox for this one, but in my opinion, the school system should teach financial lingo and economics to every single person, and it's just not done. And so you need to take it upon yourself to understand the basics. You don't need to get deep into it, but know how to look at a stock chart, know how to look at the average recession since the Great Depression, know how to think of statistics and averages and econ and stuff like that, and go find true stats and then listen to both sides and come up with your own opinions. Because like Brett said, everyone just wants clicks. That's the world we live in. We're in a digital marketing world that get paid by clicks. So they don't care if they say the Great Depression is tomorrow if they get 1 million clicks on it. And so you just have to figure out how to think for yourself, or find someone that you trust that has a good head on their shoulders, like a real estate professional.
Or you could just listen to 3 points in 3 minutes. And
I consider myself a reasonable real estate professional.
very reasonable. So that brings us to the third point, and that is we have hope. So Fannie Mae around this time of year, and Fannie Mae is the largest purchaser of mortgages in the country. Around this time of year, they come out with what they predict the average interest rate to be the following year. And their prediction is 4.5% for 2023, which in light of where rates are at right now, it seems pretty crazy, but they have a lot of economists and analysts that help to project that interest rate, and they're taking into consideration, inflation coming under control, the Fed easing on increasing interest rates, potentially buying more mortgage bonds, et cetera, et cetera. And so for us, that's significant. Interest rates coming back down, like Braiden said, potentially in the first quarter of next year, is a harbinger of good things to come. And that's going to be really positive for mortgage companies, for real estate companies, and for consumers. And this has been Brett and Braiden with Fulcrum Home Loans. This has been your market update for the week of Thursday, September 29th, 2022.